This is the Heart of LAFC podcast, episode 2.
Coming to you directly from sunny Southern California, you are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, here is your host, Jerry Jimenez.
What is up? Welcome to the Heart of LAFC podcast. My name is Jerry Jimenez, your host, your friend, your insider into the Los Angeles Football Club. Thank you for joining me for our second episode of the Heart of LAFC. This is your show. What that means is that you have the power to control what we talk about. Please follow our social media outlets such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also feel free to drop us a line over at www.heartoflafc.com. Let us know what you want to hear. Who do you want to hear from? What should we talk about? We want to make sure you're getting everything you want out of this show and more. Today's show is very, very special. We have our very first guest. Yes, I will not be the only one on the mic today. Joining us is LAFC's very own Mr. Patrick Aviles. We'll get to know the man who happens to be the bridge between the supporters of LAFC and the LAFC front office. Also, stay tuned for after the interview. We will have information about some upcoming events surrounding LAFC that you won't want to miss. Let's jump right in and get to know the one, the only Mr. Patrick Aviles.
Break it down. Degenerate into something fool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. That's a break, boy. Yeah.
So today's guest is very, very special, not just because he's LAFC supporter relations, but also because he happens to be our very first guest on this show. Mr. Patrick Aviles, how are you, sir?
Good. Happy to be here. How's it going?
It's going great, man. Thank you so much for joining us. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but in the Mexican culture, when a show starts, there's this tradition that your first guest is what we call your padrino or godfather, if you will. And so you get to put a blessing on the show, and you know, as all godparents get to do, we'll gladly take any monetary contributions or anything you want to give us. We'll gladly take it from you.
Every time you have a birthday, I'll send some money.
Awesome. Hey, so the purpose of this show, as I was mentioning to you earlier, is for LAFC supporters to get to know some of the behind-the-scenes people, kind of the cast of characters that are, you know, shaping the history of the Los Angeles Football Club. And so we're stoked to have you on, man. And I'd like to kind of get started just talking a little bit about you and your soccer background and how you first came in contact with the sport, because I know you're a pretty big fan from way back. Am I correct?
Definitely, yeah. So, I've been, I'm a diehard soccer fan and supporter for a long time. I started playing soccer when I was 5 years old and AYSO, and my parents were both from Chile. So in my house, we grew up as soccer a religion, I had to learn baseball and football and basketball and all that stuff on the playground later on, but to me, soccer was always number one. So I played growing up, everything from AYSO to club to high school soccer, to a little bit of college down in San Diego. But after that, after I graduated, I still wanted to keep playing and still wanted to stay connected. So I played in adult leagues, and then I ended up becoming the manager and coach of the adult league team. So getting everybody together on the Sundays and making sure the ref fees are paid and everybody's coming back. And then, always supporting the game, watching it every weekend, every morning, early mornings, watching Manchester United on TV.
Glory.
That's right. Let's go Red Devils. So, and then that kind of took me in 2010. I wanted to take my fandom to another level, and I went to South Africa for the World Cup.
Oh, nice.
And it was an amazing experience. I went with some friends, and we joined up with the American Outlaws and followed the United States national team all around the country for a whole month. And it really made an impact on me to see fans and supporters from all over the world getting together and just celebrating the game and making all kinds of new friends from everywhere. So after that, I had to go to the next one. So then I went to Brazil and stayed in Rio de Janeiro for the final. Wow. And that was just incredible. Being in the home of soccer there in Brazil and seeing the passion that the South Americans have it's beautiful. So, throughout all this time, I want to bring that back to the United States. I want to get America to the same fandom of soccer and passion for soccer that I see around the world.
So I have to admit, I know it's been a while since you've written for it, but I did kind of go through a blog called "Can I Kick It USA?" That-
Digging deep. All right.
oh yeah, man. No, I did my research. I like to be prepared.
Yeah, that was a blog I started kind of when I was in college about, just writing, just freestyle writing about what I thought about soccer as it regarded American soccer and the lifestyle of it. So I gotta now you make me excited to go back there and pick it up again.
Nice, man. That's awesome. Well, also, just wanted to throw this in there. He is an alumni from San Diego State. Go Aztecs.
Go Tex.
And what's that?
Let's go Tex.
Oh yeah, there you go. Also, man, you've been involved with a lot of different things. As you said, doing the trips um, to the Cup, but then also you've been involved with a lot of other things. I know you were involved with 91X down here in San Diego, and I saw a couple of the videos of that. Kind of tell us this, how you actually managed, or not managed, but how this path of doing all these different things led you to the Los Angeles Football Club and where you are now.
Yeah. So like, kind of like I was saying earlier, always wanted to stay involved in soccer. I think there comes a point in a lot of people's lives playing soccer that they realize they're never gonna go pro, unfortunately. So to me, that left me with the choice of how am I going to help grow the game and grow the sport. So I decided to always stay close to it, whether it was managing adult soccer teams and playing with co-ed team or a men's league team in my community, to keeping tabs on what's going on in MLS and really being a dedicated MLS fan. So when I heard the rumblings and the rumors of a new LA soccer team, naturally I got very excited. At that time there was only the Galaxy and Chivas USA was, on the outs. So I thought there was still a huge opportunity for a new club to come into the city and really make an impact. So I kept tabs on it and all the rumor sites on the websites as much as I could. And when I saw a job posting on Twitter, actually, I jumped in and they asked me to make a video, which hopefully no one ever sees because it's me sitting in the garage at home talking about, how much I love soccer and what I want to do. But I'm a little embarrassed by it, I guess you could tell. But no, I made this video of myself and included the things I hope for this club and for the city. And that got me into an interview with Tom Penn. So I came in and I interviewed with Tom, and he asked me all about my travels with soccer and what I thought a new team here in LA could bring to the city. And I told him my vision that I think we can really unite such a spread out and huge city with the game of soccer, like I had seen in my travels at the World Cups. I think there's still such an opportunity for that we could be that unifying club that means more on the pitch as it does off the pitch, or it means just as much, I should say. So, thankfully he liked what I had to say, and here I am.
Awesome, man. So, again, your title is supporter relations. And so that right away tells you that you're involved with the supporter clubs that are a part of LAFC now. There's no official club. There's just a lot of different groups that are involved right now, and kind of building something that I think it's going to be awesome. What exactly does the supporter relation job entail? What are you in charge of?
So for supporter relations here at LAFC, I look at it and we look at it as a big communication point. Basically, I can be kind of the liaison between the supporters, which are obviously as you know, our most dedicated and loyal and avid fans, to the ownership directly and everybody here at the office. I think having that community voice is super important, especially in this day and age where we're all so connected. Being in touch with your fan base and being in touch with people that care about what you do so much is very important. So I just want to be that kind of communication conduit in between the supporters and the office and the ownership. Whether they have concerns about things on the field or off the field, I want to be there to listen to them and voice those concerns to the ownership. If there's things that the club is going to do and it's going to affect the supporters, which most everything does, I want to make sure that it's, conveyed in the best, clearest terms to the supporters so that they're in the loop, and nothing comes as a blind side or they don't feel like they've been wronged in any way.
Awesome. And so you've already been involved pretty much from the beginning as far as supporters and LAFC and the, building that relationship. Uh, I know it hasn't been much, but what would you say so far has been your favorite part of this new job?
Well, that's easy. I think relationships has been my favorite part. New friendships, meeting so many new faces. I was telling somebody earlier today that it's honestly the most humbling, exciting, and motivating thing to meet more and more people that are supporters of our club, and always knowing that we still don't even have a team on the field yet. We still don't have a coach. We're still in the middle of building our stadium. But more and more people are getting excited, and they're coming. They're pouring out their passion for the black and gold and for LAFC. So it's exciting. It's beautiful. I've gotten to know a lot of people like yourself and a lot of the other supporter group members, and everybody has their awesome stories of where they came from and where they grew up here in LA and what resonates with them. Going to Dodger games with some of the supporters, listening to Vince Scully and watching the Dodgers in his playoffs with supporters, going to taco shops around LA and eating tacos with the supporters. It's all very LA, and so you can tell it's the community that we're building here that it's so exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. And we kind of touched a little bit already with your experience that you have as far as supporter culture goes, with you going to the Cup, and being involved since you were five with soccer. But how do you see the supporter culture evolving within LAFC, and how are you working towards growing that supporter culture?
I definitely think right now it's growing so rapidly, and I think that it's going to keep growing rapidly. We're going to grow something here that's huge. I think that we want to build something that's community driven, that really thinks community first and has civic pride. So people want to feel proud to represent LA and represent our club. And I think that it's going that way already. I see a vision for the supporter section in the north end of our stadium, 4,000 people in black and gold standing the whole time, excited, cheering on the 11 people on the field that are going to battle for LA.
That's awesome, man. That seriously sounds so awesome. And I mean, thinking about the fact too that we don't have a coach yet, we don't have players assigned yet, and still this supporter culture is growing and growing. Taking that into consideration, imagine once all this information is announced, which I'm assuming is going to happen, or at least we're going to start getting more and more and more as we get closer to 2018. So I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when we, finally kick off at Bank of California. I think it's going to be an amazing thing. So let's talk a little bit about the construction of the North End. I know you recently had an event with the architects over at Gensler and some of the supporter groups as well. And you've been working hard. I know we've talked a little bit before as well that you've worked quite a bit on what's the specifics, I guess you can say, of the North End and what's going to be happening in the supporter section of our cathedral. Let's talk a little bit about that. What kind of stuff are you guys working on now?
Yeah, it's really exciting what's going on right now, and I don't want to give too much away so that we still have some surprises left for everybody. But we're actively engaged with open communication with the supporters and our architects. So that alone, being able to bring in the supporters to meet the people who are actually designing and building our spaces is huge. It was super important to me coming in to know that they're going to have a voice in the place that they're going to spend the whole 90 minutes in, going nuts for our team. So I want to make sure that they feel like they had a hand in building it themselves. I was telling them I don't want to build this club for them. I want to build this club with them. So being able to bring them down to Gensler at our architect's office was really amazing. Got to hear a lot of the things they want to have in their supporter section, the things that they don't want to have in their supporter section. Being able to give them a little sneak peek of some things that we have in the design process right now is great. I mean, I think that that's a huge part of the communication is this open dialogue we have with our supporters.
When do we get to see some of that?
Should be able to see some of that coming soon. No date yet, but we got a couple things we're working through on the design side that we got to push through first.
Awesome, awesome. So let's talk a little bit about seating as well for that side. I know there's been talks about different types of seating and what the supporters would prefer. What kind of struggles are we having right now? Because I know it must not be easy to make these decisions. But where are we as far as the style of seating that we can possibly expect on that north end?
We're definitely actively, looking into and researching. I know I myself have had many, many calls across the pond, as they say, into the concept of safe standing. I think that's something that's vitally important to the growth of supporter culture, not only here in LA, but in MLS and in North America all around. So we're actively looking into the possibility of safe standing in our supporter section and working with our supporters to see what that looks like.
Awesome, man. That's exactly what I think a lot of people want to hear. And also a big thing that's part of supporter culture: alcohol, beer, beverages, alcoholic adult beverages. So I hear there's possibility of a bar just specifically for supporters. How true is that?
It's not false, I'll tell you that. Yeah, we one of the things we did go over in our design session with supporters was the possibility of their own bar in the supporter section, a supporters bar, if you will.
Oh
So
wow.
again, like you said yourself, I think part of supporter culture, if you're of the appropriate age, is to partake in the fun that is drinking some beer at a sports event. So we want to take that into consideration and definitely keep it a fun atmosphere and you know inviting to everybody there, but extra special for the supporters in that section.
Awesome. Segue into Boomtown. So there's an event on November 5th, if I'm not mistaken. This episode should be actually up before then. So October 31st is when this episode will be up. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on at Boomtown. I know we had our first Black and Gold rally, which unfortunately I could not make, but I am going to be at this next one. What is that exactly? What is the Black and Gold rally? And am I right? It is November 5th, right?
Yep, November 5th, they're at Boomtown in downtown LA, right in the heart of the city. So the rallies are basically designed to bring everybody together around LAFC and around the Black and Gold. Um, but kind of how we were talking about earlier, one of the best parts about supporter culture and the game of soccer is meeting new people and making new friends. So it's a great point for everybody, or a great time for everybody to come together and see who else is excited for the club and who's excited to support. And look, we have all the supporter groups there with their drums and singing and chanting and singing their songs. So it's a good time for everybody to learn some songs together and practice because, we want to fill that place up. The vision is to have that supporter section that is nonstop, 4,000 strong. So, this is a great way to hold these rallies and build towards that. And it's super fun. We're there drinking local craft beer at Boomtown, which has been an awesome venue. The owners there have been so nice to let us in there and bring our drums and have a wild time, but still have a lot of fun. And they've got some very delicious craft beer if that's your thing. So, want everybody to come down and check it out.
Awesome. And, I can talk all day about how great the supporter culture already is in LAFC, but it is totally different if you actually experience it. So this is a perfect opportunity for all of you guys to come out, everybody that's listening, come out and actually experience it for yourself because it's kind of something really, really special. And I think that is part of why Patrick sounds so passionate about this too, is, there's so much support. There's so much love for this club already, and I think it's the people that are doing this. So don't take my word for it. Don't take Pat's word for it. I think you guys should all come out and actually experience it for yourself. And so November 5th at Boomtown. What time does that start?
Starts at 6, so come out, have a beer with us, get some tacos provided by Chef Allen, Puertos del Pacifico. Shout out to the homie Chef Allen.
Nice.
And yeah, come out, and you may have a special guest. Might be a VIP there. Who knows?
Oh, okay. There we go. So, uh, let's see. Let's finish this up. I think I've taken enough of your time, Patrick. I really do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for joining us. How can people join the LAFC family? I know there's still time to become an original, right?
Definitely. There's actually, original status goes away after 2016. So kind of clock is ticking right now to be one of the first people that were there at the beginning, making history for this new club. So definitely go online, check it out, LAFC.com. Stay up to date with all our news on social media at LAFC. Give us the hashtag, shout out the hashtag LAFC and we are LAFC, and join up. It's gonna go quick. So if you don't get in now, it's gonna sell out, man. So join us.
I was thinking back at when the club itself was announced, which is actually, I believe, October 30th. That it was announced, if I'm not mistaken. I need to look back at my notes, but
yeah, you're right. Coming up on 2 years.
Yeah, coming up on 2 years, and back then it was like, oh man, we have to wait till Well, then it was 2017. Now it's 2018. But I mean, literally, it flies by. So don't wait. I think I heard some of the guys from Somos LAFC podcast actually say it. Us Latinos, Hispanics, Mexicans, whoever, we like to wait till the last minute. Don't do that. This is not going to be something you want to sleep on. So I'd like to thank, again, Patrick Aviles for joining me. Man, thank you so much. I know we're going to be talking to you again in the near future, especially with everything that is going to be going on in the next year or so with LAFC. I know I'm going to be very, very busy, and I'm just very thankful to have you as my first interview, man. Thanks so much.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much, Jerry, for inviting me on the show, and I love it. Keep them going.
This November, the gents from District 9 Ultras are putting together a supporter FIFA tournament that you can join in on. Make sure you check them out on Facebook or Instagram at District 9 Ultras for all the details and date to be announced. Also, the first one was a blast, and the second promises to be even better. Join the Los Angeles Football Club and its supporter groups for the second Black and Gold Rally, Saturday, November 5th from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the amazing Boomtown Brewery at 700 Jackson Street in Los Angeles. For more details, stay tuned for LAFC social media. For pictures of the first Black and Gold Rally and much, much more, make sure you check out www.heartoflafc.com. Don't forget to check out our show notes for more information on this and other episodes, as well as hit that subscribe button and become a VIP of our show. Once you hit the subscribe, you will receive the newest episode immediately after it is released. Don't miss a single episode and subscribe now. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much. One more in the books. I am Jerry Jimenez signing off. Stay golden.